Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we look at various cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, should we be investing in them? Today we're going to be looking at something called Shapeshift, or the actual name is Shapeshift Fox Token. If you guys like what I do on this channel, you know the deal, like, subscribe and all that jazz, and if you do wish to comment, feel free to have a bit of a read down the bottom. Consider joining my Patreon if you do want to make any sort of fan requests as well. Also, just an update, so I've been asking some questions to the community and asking you guys' opinions on various things, so if you haven't already, it'd be cool if you could jump over to here. Yeah, so today's votes, which sounds like a better token: pizza token, eggplant token, or pineapple token. So eggplant and pizza on BSC and Poly beat ETH. Great. Do not know what to say about that, but let's move on. So if we have a look at where the sort of charts have gone over the whole entire time, we can see that they've gone from early January 2021, they've gone like that, and they've gone up, and then now they're sort of around here. Something which I did find funny today, though, was was this comment right here. So Fox, I'm glad I got you in at 0.39 again this morning. The only one holding along, and then so I just found it sort of funny because, you know, like right now it's at like 0.37, so I just kind of found that like a funny comment. So the market cap is currently over 100 million, which is pretty good, to be honest, which means that it's definitely safer to invest in than other projects. Also, in terms of the exchanges which is currently available on, you can see that it's on Uniswap, Coinbase, Gate.io, Huobi. So what I've done over here is I have gone and had a look at the tiers. We haven't got Coinbase at tier 9, so I've gone and ticked the box for tier 9 for once we get to that part of the video. Also, just for those wondering, I'm not really going to be focusing as much on what does the actual project itself do. We're going to be focusing more on some of the various metrics which we can find, whether that includes social metrics, and also other token metrics which we can look into as well, to help us identify whether or not it is a good idea to jump on board. So one thing which was a bit annoying is I couldn't find a white paper for them. Now, according to this, when I click onto the white paper, it takes me to this website here. Which this does not give me any information about what they're like as a white paper. So one thing which I cannot find, and this will be amongst this as well, one thing which I cannot find is the token/coin distribution fare. But we'll see what other things we can find regarding the tokenomics. Now, this is their medium. The medium has not been updated since looks like April 2020. So there are a few things which kind of like bummed me out a little bit about this project, and where I was like, oh man, this is just, you know, like a scam coin. But there are some other things about this project which are actually promising as well. So let me go through some of the more negatives first, and then we can go through some of the more positives. So it says, Shapeshift stories, start your alternative financial future. So you can have a look through some of these if you wish on the medium itself. So remember, 2020, and then on the actual website itself, so this is on shapeshift.com, which, by the way, the fact that they managed to get the website shapeshift.com, that's pretty impressive. Like, kudos to these guys for getting such a really cool a really original domain name like that. So as you can see, 2020, May 2020 was the last ones for when they talk about Crypto Pro, and so they talk about guide to Shapeshift's latest features. So maybe they just haven't done too many things in these areas. So another one they have with Bitcoin, which was done in July 2020, that article, and then so others from 2020. So it's just kind of like there's a bit of a recurring pattern. So these ones are actually from 2022, but this is the Shapeshift DAO weekly newsletter. And as you can see, the last one says that it was from March 1st. Now, this does say that it's the newsletter archive, so there is a chance that maybe if you are actually signed up to their newsletters via email, that you may be able to receive them. And they only update this like every month or so. Do not know. But the fact that we are currently in almost the middle of April makes me think, okay, wow, they don't show any of that neither. So what's going on, folks? What's happening? Next section. So then we also have Crypto 101 here. which has got a few other areas which you can feel free to have a look at. But once again, April 2020, Ethereum, April 2020. So it's a bit annoying. Also, here's a really cool thing. For me as a video creator, and this is just like totally off off like a random thing, but I think it's really cool when projects actually list their logos on their website, because it does make it better for me when I'm actually, you know, trying to make these videos here, or make the thumbnails for them. Now, one thing which is interesting is that when you actually select all, they actually have got a bunch of up-to-date things. So you can see 2022, 2022, 2022. So it could just be a case of maybe they just haven't put them into the right categories. It could purely just be that. So do bear that in mind. But yeah, so I mean, as you can see, this latest one says Shapeshift's Kent Barton, Edward Snowden, and other luminaries speak at Camp Ethereal 2022. So this tells me that this is not a dead project, because also another thing why I do not think that they are a dead project, even though their YouTube channel is quite small, the fact that they've only got 169 subscribers is a lot less than a bunch of others, and most of their videos are really long. Like, I thought that my videos were quite long, but I think that first of all, this is a really good sign of these guys, because number one, it shows us that if we invest into this, that these guys are going to continue to try to provide the information about this project if we get super enthusiastic about it, right? Like, because for us as investors, we want to know that our money is going to be going into something good, right? Also, disclaimer, your boy is not a shiller. I'm not getting paid to make this video, so yeah, unless you could consider my patrons, but they haven't asked me to make this, so this is just on my own accord. Yeah, so I think when it comes to this information, I mean, we've got, you know, like, we've got talks, we've got interviews, we've got AMAs, even though it's kind of a little bit hard to, I guess, scroll through, but I mean, you can go to the playlists and maybe get a bit more of a better idea. But yeah, the fact that, you know, like, they do try to have like weekly things, so you've got weekly ops sprint, you've got the engineering product weekly sync, whatever that is, and then you've got product roadmap review and stuff. And so these guys are definitely trying to keep on top of their bases when it comes to both the YouTube and that main part of their website articles, which we did see. So I think that is wonderful. I just think that they need to do a little bit more work, possibly just to, you know, update in some of the other areas such as their Medium, but maybe they're just like, nobody really reads them, so, you know, that's also a possibility. But yeah, I think that is really awesome. Also, the fact that they actually do have, so when I typed in AMA, this is what came up. As you can see, most of these are pretty much from their actual website. So they've had other people during these AMAs. So they've had Olympus DAO, they've had WOAS, whatever that is, Tokmak, another community, so community AMAs. And then when we actually have a look at interview, the top two videos, so we have Kent Barton, and so this is once again from the ETH Denver, and another one with Eric. I'm not going to pronounce your last name, sir. Yeah, so I think that it's cool that these are actually done by other YouTube channels, because one thing which I think is a really good idea is when you have interviews, not just from the actual project's YouTube itself. I think it's good to actually have them from other places. Now, when it comes to the actual contracts which these guys have, actually, before we do that, we will have a look at what we can find from here. So according to CoinMarketCap, it brings me to this, which is an invalid invite. But remember, that's not directly from the actual website, right? I mean, the actual website doesn't actually link a Discord, so yeah, which is interesting. But what just happened just then, what the heck? So, oh, that is the Discord. Isn't that? Oh, sorry, that was tripping me out. Okay, that is their Discord link. Sorry, I thought that was the Reddit one for a moment. My apologies, team. So yeah, according to the Discord, they've got 8,000 members. So that is a pretty decent number. And the Telegram's currently got 2,500 members. So it's smallish. but it seems like the community is quite good from what I have seen, based on their Twitter. They've got a whole bunch of users who are just commenting and posting up pictures and everything, and I don't think, from what I saw, I wouldn't really consider these guys having done what I would call paid bot comments. So I don't think that they're doing that sort of thing. So they do come across as quite authentic when it comes to this. So that they, as I mentioned earlier, they are on 2 different blockchains, which I could see. So they have one on Ethereum and they have one on Polygon. So we'll be trying to look at a few different things which we can find. So when it comes to the actual holders, we can see that a bunch of these are locked under smart contracts, which is wonderful, which is generally a really good time depending on what's actually written in the smart contract. But this one would likely be an unlocked wallet because it's a Shapeshift deployer, so it's about 6.66%, which could be a bit concerning. But I don't think it's really that threatening because, first of all, these guys have been around for years. So I mean, this is that the token age is 3 years old. So the 27th of March 2019. So I mean, the fact that they actually have that is pretty impressive. We can see some liquidity here when we have a look at that. So Shapeshift DAO treasury. One thing which I will say once again is that it is very annoying that we cannot easily see/find the information which we want to know from the website. That is irritating. So I mean, you can click onto, you know, like Fox token, right? And then I mean, I've done this jazz already, but then it's kind of like, I still feel like I don't really know. Like, this literally just takes me to Etherscan. It doesn't tell me like maybe what like the vesting schedules are. It doesn't go and tell us like how much of the pie will the developers get, how much of the how much will be unlocked, how much were maybe partners or seed rounds, for instance. So we don't know any of that information, so that's annoying, that's irritating. I don't like that. So other things which we can look at, so as you can see, a whole bunch of Uniswap stuff. Where is Gate? So we have Coinbase. So Coinbase has currently got an unlocked wallet, but where's Gate.io? What the? Okay, I don't know where Gate.io is, but we can move on. So this looks pretty tame from what I can see. It's pretty tame. Not sure what Sablia is. Yes, if anybody knows, you're very welcome to comment that. But the fact that they have like over 44% of the circulating supply is quite a lot. But because it is a smart contract, I can see that will likely be immutable and unchangeable. So I'm not too threatened by that. So when we have a look at holders on Polygon, as we can see, so the total supply here, it says that the total supply is 1.3 mil, whereas if we jump over here, it says that the total supply is 1 bill. So just so that you guys know how much has actually been taken. And if we have a look here, so it says that the quantity is 582,000, which if you compare it to these numbers here is not even on the first page. So even though it may seem a bit threatening, the fact that, you know, like that's 44%, in the kind of overall, I guess the overall idea of things, I don't know what else to say, then 44% is pretty decent. And then you've got smart contracts as well. So yeah, I don't really see this as too much of a concern, but we'll have a look at it anyway. So this is the information which we could find on have they gone and updated their website? So I don't quite know what to do with that, but that's fine. So this is the Ethereum address. So it says seems scam, which is quite interesting. So buy and sell tax is 0, which is fine. So they cannot read contract owner. Contract seems to be a non-standard one, so the ownership's not being renounced. And the main reason why they say seems scam is because it says over 100% has been burned or locked. I kind of feel like this might be reading that as a false negative. Yeah, I don't quite believe this when it comes to that, so we can move on from that one. This is what Polygon says. pretty much a similar thing really. This says detected address, which is at 44%, but when we have had a look at the others, that's not too concerning. So remember, we try to look at as many facts as we can find, and we try to make a conclusion based on that. So this is what Token Sniffer says regarding this. Created wallet contains less than 5%, so that's that 6.6% which I mentioned. And liquidity, as you can see, liquidity is decent with this one, man. So you have a lot of ETH in the Uniswap liquidity, which is very impressive. And this doesn't really pop up with any concerning things. I mean, it says that it's got no similar token contracts. So the source does not contain an owner contract, which, I mean, we can actually probably confirm that via Moonarch. So usually Moonarch will sort of show like a little owner thing down here, if that has been the case, so that's pretty good. Yeah, and create an authorized for special permissions. According to the Polygon one, the source does contain a proxy contract, which could potentially allow the functionality to be changed. There could be something concerning with that, but your boy's not a developer, so I can't read that part, sorry folks. Other things which we can have a look at, so holders, once again there is that one holder which holds that ginormous percentage, and as you can see, these are some similar token contracts which have the exact same code. These ones right here, because as you can see it says difference is none, so there is no difference there. So if anybody knows whether or not any of these smart contracts here, I mean, you guys might recognize sand. If you guys can recognize any of these things here, and you think that these contracts have been really good or really bad, please do consider commenting that, because that could potentially help those who are viewing this video. And then we'll have a look here. So as we can see, liquidity says what, 13 million, which is a huge amount of liquidity. There's nothing really in here which is too concerning, so we can't really see anything which is bad in terms of its actual scanning over the ETH contract. But keep in mind that this isn't beta, and it doesn't mean that it's like the completely finished version. So when we have a look at some of the, so these are some of the Social Blade metrics. So these guys are continuously growing. Over the last 30 days, they have received over 800 followers, which is pretty impressive. Not sure exactly what's been the cause of that. I don't know if they've been a DAO. I don't think they've been a DAO the whole entire time. I feel like that's kind of recent when they did this, when they've been doing this sort of switch over. So yeah, could be wrong though. So always willing to be corrected. Once again, we have gone through that, and this is their and these are some of the Google trends based on what people have been searching. So what's interesting is that Shapeshift DAO has not really been around since like 2019, right? So I mean, I feel like maybe like there might have been some other sort of search regarding Shapeshift DAO, because that's kind of strange. So over the last, actually sorry, let's do over the last 12 months to see what we can see here. So there's been a huge rise in terms of searches very recently, and we can also see that there has been some extra searches around there. And over the last 30 days, we'll just finish up with this. Cool, great. All right, and with the website itself seems pretty safe, to be honest. I haven't seen anything which is really concerning or really wrong or doesn't actually work. So now we come to this part of the video where we go and rate projects. So in terms of clean media / website, it's clean, but it doesn't give us the information which we really want to know. So that's irritating. So I'm gonna, like, it's a good website. I want to give them a 4. I'll give them a 5, because yeah, I think yeah, it's well made, but I feel like we really need some more information. Also, they said that you can earn 100% APR, which is pretty high, but I feel like maybe they might be misusing the word APR, because APR is essentially a stat which cannot change, and APY is one which can change. So they say that this is an estimated APR calculated based on the current amount of token staked in the Shapeshift rewards contract. So I'm kind of like, doesn't that make it APY? But anyway, they use APR for whatever reason. Any threatening B-boy holders? Not really. So I'm going to give them about a 9 for that. Yeah, there because they do have that sort of one wallet, which is like 6.6%, but I wouldn't really consider that like crazy threatening. Couldn't find any bot comments, so they're fantastic with that. Is the token / coin distribution fair? I don't know. I'm going to put that as not applicable because we don't actually know that. So solid roadmap, I did not find a roadmap, so I'm going to give them a 1 for that, because I couldn't see one roadmap. However, I believe that they may have, there was that one video which we did see when I highlighted that title on their YouTube channel. But the fact that I have to watch a YouTube video just to see a roadmap, like a 20-minute video just to see a roadmap, is, yeah, so I'm going to say 1 to that anyway. Is the team doxed with LinkedIn? So remember, couldn't find a white paper, cannot find any team information, although we did see some of their extra information from the YouTube channel. So it seems like they are almost kind of like putting all of their eggs into their one YouTube basket, from my sort of point of view. So is the team doxed with LinkedIn? No, but they are known. So I'm going to give them about a 4. Interviews and AMAs, they get about a 9 for that, because they've done really well. Relevant team experience, I'm going to put not applicable because we just do not know. Or we couldn't actually see the team itself. Now, for other projects, I have generally possibly gone and ticked a 1, but for this one, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt with this one, because the fact, first of all, that they have been around for about 3 years and they are still going, tells me that there is definitely some level of relevant team experience with these guys, and the fact that it doesn't seem that marketing is their sort of main, I guess, point / feature, really does tell me that there is, to some degree, experience behind these guys. That doesn't necessarily mean that they do have experience, but you know, I mean, you could also say that people who'd made Dogecoin have some good experience. And any notable partnerships, couldn't find anything, so I'm gonna put a 1 for that, because I couldn't find any notable partnerships with these guys. They don't have that listed on their website neither. So I think maybe if these guys were to do anything, I feel like they need to do like a whole refurbish of the website. Although the website's beautiful, like it's such a like well laid out website, I just think that they could possibly find a way to make it a bit more easier for us as the end users, to be able to navigate. I think that navigation is a very important thing, and if we can't find it on the website, then that is annoying. But hey, so we did that. These guys, so according to the color, it gets a 5 out of 10, and it's got a 3 star, so it's 3 out of 5 stars, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that has been my video. Please, if you did actually end up liking this video, please do consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video. I think that it is good for us to be able to maybe try and help people who may also be going through this sort of thing as well. If anybody wants to be marketing me, please consider doing that. I'm not going to pay you though. Just do it from the love of your heart. Yeah, and once again, if you do wish to comment, I do have that little grey box down the bottom as well. And if you do want to make any fan requests, please do consider becoming my advocate. If you just want to be in my video shoutouts, consider joining that section. If you want description shoutouts, or you just want to support my journey, then you're very welcome to become a backer as well. So yeah, I hope that this video was helpful for you guys today. Yeah, and I will fare thee well.